Occasionally, as a variety streamer, we're offered preview copies of a game to review and see if we want to highlight on the channel. And many of the games that we have done one-off episodes of, or our Peeling Back the Bark series as we call it, we have been delighted in and have come back even for a full playthrough. And I want to stress that all of these keys are given without any strings attached. When we find flaws, we won't edit them out and try to hide bad parts of a game to foster a better relationship with the devs. Our relationship to the viewers is far more important. So, when we were offered keys for the upcoming game RunOut, it looked like another great entry in the human Fall Flat or Fall Guys party game scene. So we got all the crew together and loaded it up. And yes, it is that sort of game. However, once we got to playing the game, it became readily apparent that the game was not up to the snuff that the devs had said that it was, even though they were very positive it was ready for release and positive that it was polished. So now I can't make a glowing review of their game, or even a very happy one, but I'll make a positive one, because I'm positive that it needs a bunch more work. So let's look at some of the positively glaring problems with the game. First off, though you can play with up to 6 players in either one-for-all or teams mode, we were not allowed to get more than 3 players involved at any time. The matchmaking would auto-start once 3 were in the lobby, not giving any time to have a 4th join. And absolutely nothing allowed us to add a 4th player to the party, which is very nice of the devs, since trying to have more than 2 friends is just exhausting. Thanks, devs. But once we were in the game, yes, it is a race to the finish or collect all of the coins and get power-ups to hinder other players on your way to the top kind of game. And some of the modes are great. However, on the side-scrolling platformer levels, there is a terrible amount of depth to the platforms, which often left many of us trying to walk up the stairs only to walk behind them, or walk in front of them, or walk into traps, or off the level completely. Again, frustration is a feature, not a bug, so that's a perfect 10 out of 10 on the frustration rank for me. It would be much better to have those levels more isometrically viewed, or to have them perfectly 2D, since doing it this way prevents the player from being able to have any accuracy to their movements that allows skilled play. Any platforming skill from other games will not translate to RunOut, which I suppose really evens the field here, since no amount of prior experience can prepare you for falling so hard. Further, the power-ups that you find throughout the levels are underwhelming and unwieldy. There were not many times when I got a power-up and was able to capitalize on its use, which left chasing after them to get an upper hand to be a losing strategy. So, it's nice of the devs to lay such nice bait for inexperienced players to fall into. And finally, animations in video games are key to telling the player what their character is doing, or what other players are doing. So many devs choose to make the animations smooth and have distinct points where a punch is delivered, or a landing is made, or the edge of a block is reached. But any Dark Souls player will tell you that challenge is good for the soul. So, in RunOut, they have very flowing animations, and consequently I was never sure if my character was actually punching or not when I pressed the punch button, or if a punch hit or not, or if I was on solid ground or not, or where all of these coins came from. I was not expecting a mystery game in my couch run-em-up, so thanks, devs. Okay, I think that's enough sarcasm, but let me say, in total frankness, that there is a great game here. It's gonna need some full-on grinding, not just polishing, to make it shine though. But even if the animations were snappier, and the camera were better, and the controls were more responsive, and the power-ups were more impressive, there's still nothing here that Fall Guys hasn't done better already. Again, we try not to do these sort of reviews, but the game looked interesting and we said we would review it, and we can't give it any less than 10 out of 10 on the not ready for release scale. So, if you want more chill playthroughs, short how-tos, and reviews, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button.
Old BackLog had a stack of games, a mountain to the sky. With dust upon the cartridges, he watched those years roll by. From kingdoms grand to starry space, all tales yet untold. He swore he'd conquer everyone before he grew too old.
A journey worth 1,000 nights from dawn till setting sun. With pixels bright and sprites so fine, the challenge just begun. The dragons breathe with fire fierce, the puzzles twisted around. Yet BackLog drew his sword each night, in each world he was bound.
Oh, BackLog, oh, BackLog. With a controller in his hand, he dives into the digital in worlds so vast and grand. And every quest shall see its end, every legend sung. For BackLog fights the endless fight, where all his games are done.